Hey, Maria, I've been working on some of the sentences I'd need to be saying when I go into governmental offices, and I've scheduled some private lessons with you. I'm wondering now, what could I be doing in between times? Are there maybe tools out there you're aware of that could help me maybe expedite learning a little more Spanish before I come?
Yeah, I mean, basically anything you do will help. You can't go wrong. Okay, there's no same way that I should say there's no magic pill. You do this and you will learn. Immediately in a very short time. That doesn't happen. So if they tell you, okay, learn the language in 3 months, it doesn't happen in 3 months. But at the same time, there's nothing that you do that will be wrong. So even very small things, I would say the main thing is to try to be consistent as possible. So
Like a
try
couple of hours a
to
day, or how much time
no,
should I
no, no, no.
spend?
You don't need a couple of, I mean, if you can do a couple of hours a day, that's brilliant. But I mean, that's not very realistic.
No.
We all have busy lives. You have other things that you have to be dealing with, and you need to be organizing or not. You have your life. So doing 2 hours every day is not realistic. So I don't even recommend starting off with that goal of doing 2 hours per day, because you're more likely to fail. If you say, I have to do 2 hours of Spanish every day, you might be able to do them the first day, maybe, but then you will find, okay, this is too much. This is,
So
I don't
it's
have 2 hours.
right. So it's something like 20 minutes or a
Yeah,
day?
or less, 10, 15 minutes is fine.
Right.
The point, the most important thing is that you try to do it every day. I mean, it's okay if you, take a break 1 day or 2 in the week, but try to be as consistent as possible. And I think, let's say 15 minutes, okay, on average, 15 minutes in your day. I think most people can find 15 minutes in the day to do a little bit of Spanish. What can you do? You can do so many things. It does not have to be sitting down and doing exercises, grammar exercises. Okay.
Yeah, so boring.
I mean, if you like doing that, that's fine too. You can do it, but it doesn't have to be that. So you could be doing things like watching something in Spanish. There's, for instance, like if you have Netflix or any other service like that, there are many shows in Spanish. Maybe initially you can watch them with English subtitles. As you're listening or as you get better with the language, you can switch the subtitles and put the subtitles in Spanish. So that's one thing you can do. And even if you don't have Netflix or any other of these, platforms that you have to pay for, there are many free resources that you can use out there. For instance, YouTube is a great resource. There's a lot of content on YouTube. There's, for instance, the Spanish TV, the national broadcaster is called TVE. So on their website, the website is rtve.es, I think, or .com, I'm not sure. I think it's ES. You can get TV there, you can get radio, you can get the news that you can read. So all of this counts towards your daily Spanish input. So you could be listening to the radio, you could be watching the news, for instance, or reading them. You could be listening to a podcast. There are many podcasts that are, some are for Spanish speakers, but there are many out there that are especially for learners, for Spanish learners. So you can look for one for learners, one that is more adapted to your level. Or maybe if you have any hobbies, any special interest, you can look for content about that in Spanish.
Oh, that's a
Let's
great idea.
say
Maybe
you
listen
like,
to a podcast about cooking, but
for instance,
a
yes, you
podcast
like
that's,
cooking, you could
oh,
look
that'd be
for YouTube videos
fun.
in Spanish about cooking. You could look for websites in Spanish about cooking, for podcasts, and for, you know, anything that is out there. There's so much on the internet that you can find.
Okay.
Then you could do little things in your daily life. Let's say you're going to do your grocery shopping. Try writing your shopping list in Spanish.
Oh.
For instance,
I'm gonna
get
need
a
to
piece of
study.
paper and say, okay, what do I need to buy today? And try to write. I mean, it's just a list, few words.
Okay.
And use a dictionary if you don't know all the words, that's fine, you know. And so that way, you know, if you're doing your, let's say, your shopping list on a regular basis in Spanish, those words, things that you're buying regularly, they start, you know, you're using them frequently. So they're staying up there and you'll be, you know, adding to your vocabulary. So little things like that, and everything like that counts. So those are little things that you can do in your daily life between lessons, and it helps you keep that, you know, keep it going, being consistent and being exposed to the language every day, at least for 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect. All right. I'm going to go and kind of think of some ideas along those lines, and I'll give you a call probably later to talk about one of my first appointments I'm going to have. So thanks so much, Maria.
You're welcome.